shows right there, exploding to the rim to add to the lead.
Here's Collison. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Hard to get that one off with the size difference there. That makes it a tough individual matchup for him, especially down low.
Well, took on the big guys going in there and challenging them like he did. But, boy, that was a nice job.
Curry's checked in for Sacramento. And then for Golden State, Spates checked in for Bogut. Iguodala comes in for Barnes. And it's Livingston in for Curry.
Another gap in the defense found there, and they've really had their number today. And really, the Warriors had an amazing regular season last year. Just from a historical standpoint, it was one of the best ever. And, you know, coaches just love players who they can count on to give that effort defensively.
And he clearly is one of those guys, Greg. We saw it right there. Nice work forcing that miss.
And when he's got that much of a height advantage on the perimeter, it's really tough on the defender. Easy three-pointer.
And for the Warriors last year, they would end the season with 67 wins. That number, Clark, tying for the 6th best win total in NBA history.
And my guess is only a few people saw it coming. I mean, and as the season wore on, it became more and more apparent that the Warriors were for real, but it took a while for people to accept that fact.
Thompson with the bucket. Now a timeout called by Sacramento. When you think about Sean Livingston, you think about the career that might have been an absolute rising star after being taken Clark 4th back in the 2004 draft.
Kevin, he was averaging over 5 assists a game as a teenager, and his shot was improving every year. Then the devastating knee injury. Just great to see him back playing basketball.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Kufis checked in for Cauley-Stein. Caspi comes in for Butler. And it's Anderson in for Darren Collison.
Foul. And getting back to Livingston, he's had comeback after comeback. I mean, each time he'd start to flash those unbelievable movement skills, he'd get injured again. It's a shame because he was on the path to becoming one of the game's great young point guards.
Curry kicks to Kufis. Deep 2 from Anderson. And he didn't get quite enough under that one.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Here's Kufis after the made shot from Andre Iguodala. Left side Curry. He feeds it to Kufis. And the call will be against Sean Livingston. The Kings have been excellent at the free throw line here today. A flawless 6 for 6. And he makes the first.
At the line for 2.
And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. There's 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Iguodala outside. Thompson inside the line. Rondo with some nice D. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. The Kings trail by 14. Caspi is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Rajon Rondo. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's McLemore in at the 3 slot. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Curry. The drive by Cousins. And a miss there off the inbound. Last game for the Kings, they picked up the W against the San Antonio Spurs. Really left alone that game. 20 points for Klay Thompson.
He's really picked up where he left off in the first.
Sacramento's gone a very strong 4 for 5 from three-point land in the ball game. Caspi passes to Bellinelli. They get it back. Rondo lays it up and banks it in.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
Here's Curry after Rajon Rondo's bucket. And goaltending is going to be the call. So they get the basket there anyway.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
And clearly you can hear what the crowd thinks about that call.
You sure can. I mean, they erupted as soon as that whistle blew. No time between the call and the eruption.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Gay comes in for Caspi, and it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Outside Curry. Shot, high post. Curry with another miss.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk. Angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
Now here's Gay. And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Grown man's power flush with the long hang on the rim at the end of it.
Clark, that could be a catalyst for him.
I think you're right.
And when we've seen those kinds of plays get them fired up in the past.
Timeout called the Warriors. And no question, G8, Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only one playoff. Only one. Count him, one. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Steve Kerr was saying to the team. It was clear what message he was trying to get across. He said, this lead isn't big enough that we're safe. Not by a long shot. I don't want us sitting back and milking the clock. Play to win. Show some aggression. Guys?
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
And you can see the difference with their ability to win with their speed, guys.
Boy, I love the pace and flow that their open court offense has been played with. I mean, it's been humming quietly, but very efficiently.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting. And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points. You know, so many games are decided by which team wins the rebound battle, and that's held true in this one so far.
And Clark, their effort on the glass has given them the advantage, but it's also been the effort in general that's made a difference.
A drive by Collison. McLemore dishes to Collison. From 13 feet, it goes down.
Well, he certainly isn't the one to blame for them being in the hole. He's been on the money with his game.
The shot by Thompson, and no one's around. Good, and Curry gets the assist. 25 points for Klay Thompson.
3 triples in the first half, 3 in the second. Boy, do they add up.
Now a timeout called by Sacramento. Early on last year, it was clear Steph Curry was just on another level, was an MVP candidate right from the start of the season, and he would eventually be voted that award.
And I thought very deserving. You could see how he elevated his play, and so many of us, and so much talk focuses on what he does offensively. But he was ahead of the snake of a terrific defensive group for Golden State a season ago, and that's one reason why he ended up being the MVP.
Collison, no good.
Well, he had 1 3-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Curry wide open. Another 3 for Golden State.
And with Curry winning his first NBA MVP award, he played the fewest minutes by an MVP in league history, mostly because his team was up by so much, he got to sit a number of fourth quarters.
Shots good by McLemore. Warriors have gotten 7 of their 8 shots to fall here in the fourth, a tremendous offensive outburst. And Thompson kicks to Curry. lets the three fly. Another three for Golden State.
For three.
And with Curry and the MVP, there was some pressure with Hart. Relatively close voting, but Curry was the clear winner. Hard to argue with the season he had, leading his team to 67 wins last year. And one priority for the commissioner this year was how the schedule worked. There were complaints about too many back-to-back games, and it was something everybody wanted to improve upon.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. Here's Azili. Wants to get it to Spades and does. Soft touch off the glass.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Warriors.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Stephen Curry. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
And Leandro Barbosa, the bucket on the assist from Speights. Greg, as you said, the NBA schedule was something that needed change. Players were getting worn out with all the back-to-back games, Clark. It's you've been through it and you know firsthand.
And it's not just the back-to-back games, Kevin. It's the 4 games in 5 nights or the 7 in 10 days. The league office knows the NBA is at their best when teams are rested. And kudos to the league for doing something about it.
That one will seal the deal there. They've exploded here at the end.
Boy, I love the serious killer instinct they've shown, finishing strong.
And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
2 shots.
That's his first personal foul.
The first free throw is good.
Leandro Barbosa taking 2 shots.
And Barbosa drops them both. Curry. No good. So we see the Warriors taking the game here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight.
Yes, Kevin, thank you. I'm with Klay Thompson. You were able to really help out your team on the offensive end. What enabled such a big night of productivity for you?
Well, I'm just used to the pace of the game by now, and my teammates do a good job finding me when I'm open, so all credit goes to them. I just catch and fire when I'm open.
Thank you, Klay. We so appreciate it. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Stephen Curry. He just put it completely out of reach in the fourth quarter. It was as if he was saying, okay, enough fooling around. I'm taking over now.
His accuracy from the field was pretty eye-catching. I mean, if he was shooting the ball, it was going in. You rarely see a performance like this with this crazy high shooting percentage. Wow.
I will say this about Steph Curry. There is no player in the league more capable of single-handedly taking over a ball game than he is. What I mean is, Steph Curry's hot. Is hotter than anyone else is hot. He can beat you with his feet, his mind, his shot. The only thing you can be sure of is that he will beat you.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight, but we're just getting